Hello, friend. Welcome back. You've landed on Couch Tales, Why We Do What We Do, the podcast where we dive into the funny and sometimes not so funny psychology of what makes us tick. I'm your host, Anna Leah, and just a reminder, this is for fun only and not professional advice. So, today's topic, what message are we really sending our kids? The fix yourself message. You know what I'm talking about. Your kid walks into the room and before you say good morning, you're already fussing with her hair, straightening her shirt, or telling her to fix something about herself. And here's the thing. We don't do it to be mean. We don't do it to make them feel bad. We do it because we think we're helping. But to a kid, especially a middle schooler or a teenager, those little corrections add up, and over time they start to believe they are never quite right, as they are. And once that belief sets in, well, the king of overanalyzing childhood would have a lot to say about how that follows them into adulthood. So let's talk about it. Meet Ellie, the middle schooler who just wanted a snack. Ellie is 12 years old, which means her daily emotional roller coaster is sponsored by hormones and the unpredictability of 6th grade. One day she walks into the kitchen to grab a snack, minding her own business. And before she even reaches for the fridge, her mom, without thinking, blurts out, "Your hair is a mess. You need to brush it." Now let's pause. Was her mom wrong? Not necessarily. Ellie's hair was a mess, but Ellie wasn't asking for a mirror critique. She just wanted a snack. And instead of feeling welcomed into the kitchen, she felt wrong. Wrong for showing up as she was, wrong for not thinking about her appearance first, wrong before she even opened the fridge. And because middle school brains are dramatic, her mind started spinning. If my mom thinks I look bad, what do other people think? Should I never walk into a room looking like this? Is something always wrong with me? All because of one little moment. And here's the kicker. This didn't just happen once. It happened every day in small ways. Like, that shirt is too wrinkled. Go change. You really should do something with your hair. Are you really wearing those shoes? Each one seemed harmless, but each one added to the same message, which was, you are not quite good enough as you are. Okay, let's fast forward to high school. Ellie is now 16 years old, and guess what? She never leaves her room without checking the mirror 100 times. She's obsessed with perfection. Her hair has to be just right. Her outfit has to be perfect. She second guesses everything before she steps out the door. Because somewhere along the way, she learned that how she looks is more important than how she feels. And this isn't just about Ellie. I bet if you think back, you can remember moments like this from your own childhood. You know, that time someone told you to fix something when you're just trying to exist. That time you realized that how you appeared mattered more than how you were. That time you started seeing yourself through other people's eyes instead of your own. Oh, pretty deep, right? So what can we do instead? It's not about never correcting our kids. It's about pausing before we do it and asking ourselves, is this the first thing they need to hear right now? Because when a kid walks into a room, their unspoken question isn't, how do I look? It's, am I welcomed here? So instead of, fix your hair, go change, you can't go out like that, try this. Hey, good to see you. I love having you here. How was your day? And then, if the messy hair or wrinkled shirt actually matters, bring it up later in a way that doesn't feel like a judgment. Because the real message we want to send isn't, you need to fix yourself. It's, you're enough exactly as you are. And believe me, that message lasts way longer than perfect hair. So what would the psychologists say? A psychologist who talked a lot about self-worth would say that kids develop their sense of self-acceptance based on how the people around them react to them. If we constantly fix them, they learn to see themselves as broken. And our mustached childhood psychoanalysts would say that early experiences of being corrected, especially by parents, shape our inner critic. That little voice in your head saying, you should look better, do better, be better. Yeah, that started very young. And behavioral psychologists would say that if a child is constantly told to fix themselves, they start expecting judgment everywhere, even when no one is watching. That's how we end up with adults who struggle with self-confidence and never feel ready to be seen. And honestly, that's exhausting. All right, that's it for today's episode of Couch Tales, Why We Do What We Do. I'm your host, Analia, and I hope this episode gave you something to think about. If you liked it, please take a moment to follow, subscribe, and share it with a friend who might need to hear this today. And feel free to add it to your social media. Until next time, friend, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, your presence is more important than your perfection.